Hello ninjas, welcome to the Ninja Channel. The Sage Mode within the Naruto universe was not well explained. Only a few people possess it, and those who do only have the two lesser modes, the Snake and the Incomplete Toad. Of course there are exceptions, like Hashirama's Sage Mode, but it was never stated whether it is possible to use more than one Sage Mode. So far, this possibility hasn't been denied, so it could be possible, though risky. In today's video, we will discuss the possibility of Boruto, who is already one of the most powerful beings we've seen in the entire Naruto universe, being able to acquire both the Toad and Snake Sage modes. And we'll talk about the powers Boruto might gain from these two great abilities. I'm counting on your subscription if you haven't subscribed yet, and your comment telling me which Sage mode you would like to have. Now, let's get into the video. Sage Mode is a technique that few people can achieve because it requires great control over natural chakra. Otherwise, the user may lose their life in the process. Currently, there are 3 demonstrated Sage Modes, 2 of which can be obtained but only through advanced training, where the user could lose their life in a very unpleasant way. The last one is Hashirama's Sage Mode, which only he was able to obtain in an unknown way, as the 2 possible modes are acquired through training with the Toad and Snake. So far, only Naruto, Minato, Jiraiya, Kabuto, and Mitsuki have managed to obtain this technique through training or unconventional means, as in the cases of Mitsuki and Kabuto. Minato, Naruto, and Jiraiya were able to obtain Sage Mode through exhaustive and intense training on Mount Myoboku, where they were trained to manipulate the natural energy that existed there. Because in the real world, there is natural energy, but on Mount Myoboku, there is a much greater amount, allowing the ninja to learn to control this power much faster. But there is a major consequence to learning this technique. If the ninja cannot perfectly control this power, they may end up having their body turn to stone. One proof of this is when Naruto fights Pain. The Black Path immobilizes him and begins to absorb all of his natural chakra. But as it absorbs, his skin starts to take on frog-like characteristics. Soon after, his body began to be completely petrified because he didn't know how to control natural chakra. So his body was petrified, even though it was the body of a lifeless person. The Snake Sage Mode is just as difficult to learn as the Toad Sage Mode, but its training is more abrupt. Unlike the Toad Sage Mode, where the user learns to absorb natural chakra through their body, the Snake Sage Mode is obtained after the user is bitten by Hakuja Sennin. The snake injects natural energy into the person so that they learn the Snake Sage Mode. But this method is very risky. Although it is the quickest way to learn, the user has to quickly control the natural chakra they are receiving because, if not controlled, they end up losing their life. The new generation of ninjas seems to be very powerful, especially Boruto, the son of the 7th Hokage, Naruto, and Hinata, the Hyuga princess. That's why Boruto is a very powerful ninja due to his lineage. Additionally, Boruto has a karma that transformed him into an Otsutsuki, so his body is no longer that of a human. He has become something much more than just a human, and his basic capabilities have increased immensely. He also gained many powers because of karma decompression, so Boruto could easily obtain both the Snake and Toad Sage modes, as he would have a body far superior to that of a normal person. Therefore, even if Boruto cannot quickly control the natural chakra, his body might resist petrification, as he would now be an Otsutsuki, giving him much greater resistance. Thus, Boruto would be able to obtain both Sage modes without experiencing any collateral issues. This fusion of the 2 Sage modes could give Boruto a new dojutsu, as seen at the end of the 4th Ninja War when Naruto managed to combine Sage Mode with Kurama Mode. This union caused Naruto to gain a new dojutsu with this fusion, forming a new pattern in his eyes. The connection between Kurama and Naruto's Sage Mode became stronger, allowing much more chakra to flow between Naruto and Kurama. Therefore, the Snake and Toad Sage modes could be combined and even form a new Sage Mode similar to Hashirama's. This new Sage Mode could merge the characteristics of both Sannin modes. Along with Otsutsuki DNA, Boruto might awaken a new power, as the Otsutsuki typically absorb chakra to gain immense power and also increase their vitality. If Boruto were to obtain the Toad and Snake Sage modes, he would be able to channel natural chakra, greatly increasing his chakra reserves, potentially granting him a nearly infinite source of chakra. Sage Mode would give Boruto a boost in his physical strength, speed, energy, reflexes, perception, and resistance. His ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu would become even more powerful. Boruto could gain the ability to manipulate the natural energy around him, transforming it into an extension of his body to increase the range of his attacks. He would also have a significant increase in his sensory abilities, being able to track chakra around him and sense attacks without needing to see them. Sage Mode is perfect for fighting enemies who can absorb chakra, like the Otsutsuki. We don't know what side effects natural energy might have on an Otsutsuki, as we've never seen them absorb Naruto's jutsu while he's in Sage Mode. Many might argue that Momoshiki has already absorbed it, but we must remember that Momoshiki's dojutsu works differently. It doesn't absorb the jutsu directly. Instead, it stores the jutsu in his dojutsu, which is in his hand. Afterward, he decides whether to transform it into pills to increase his chakra, or just use the stored jutsu. Therefore, we haven't seen him absorb a jutsu that contains natural chakra. For this reason, we don't know what the consequences would be for a body superior to a human's. It's possible that elemental chakra could cause problems in an Otsutsuki's body, or that it might not cause any harm. Sage Mode also requires extensive training because there are two stages: the incomplete Sage Mode and the complete Sage Mode. If the user lacks control over Sage Mode, they cannot use the full potential of this technique, and they might acquire animal traits, just like Jiraiya. Jiraiya couldn't balance his own chakra with natural energy, resulting in an imperfect activation of this technique, making him the only person shown in the series who couldn't fully control Sage Mode. Due to this imbalance, Jiraiya gained several frog-like traits. His nose grew and developed warts. His teeth became sharp, he grew a goatee, and his eyes acquired frog-like markings. Because of these characteristics, Jiraiya said he didn't like activating his Sage Mode, because this form prevented him from attracting women due to his completely altered appearance. But even with the flawed mode, he gained some advantages from his body's deformity, such as his posture and the length of his foot, which became beneficial attributes that improved his maneuverability, allowing him to take advantage of them for better movement. Although he never managed to master Sage Mode, Jiraiya was able to use all the advantages of this technique, but his enhancements were more limited compared to those who possess the refined technique. Mitsuki seems to follow a mode similar to Jiraiya's, because when his Sage Mode is activated, he can undergo a new transformation, gaining a completely different appearance, resembling an imperfect Sage Mode. Additionally, Orochimaru forbade Mitsuki from using this technique because he wasn't accustomed to it, let alone trained to use it, so his transformation is still incomplete. The difficulty for Mitsuki's body to access the Sage transformation alongside Sage Mode was significant enough for Orochimaru to force it 6 times before Mitsuki could activate this technique for the first time. Users who manage to properly balance their own chakra with natural energy will not undergo any transformations in their bodies. They will only have a shadow in their eyes, resembling a dojutsu. Although this eye changes shape, it doesn't have special powers beyond enhancing the user's sensory abilities and perception, similar to a Sharingan or Byakugan, but inferior. This technique has many advantages, but its use is very limited, as Sage Mode has a significant drawback: the activation time and the amount of natural energy. These two disadvantages make Sage Mode a very powerful technique, but also very difficult to use because during a fight, the ninja has to remain still while absorbing natural energy.